Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Griff Thomas, and I'm Managing Director of Heatly, which is the end-to-end app for decarbonising homes. And also, if I can have two titles,
Well,
MD of GTech Training, and we train around about 4,000 to 5,000 people on net zero topics across the UK. So I think just touching on the spark gap conversation, that's really important. And there is always attached to anything that I used to call renewable, now net zero, low carbon. You take your pick of the term of the week. People are always dire to save money. And that's not been the case in any other building service that I can ever remember. That didn't happen with data cabling, with broadband, with coal fire going to gas, going to oil, and all of those have been really, really rapid transitions in recent terms. And I won't point to anybody in the audience, but I can see one or two faces who will remember when only the posh people in the street had gas central heating because they could afford it, and indoor bathrooms, and more recently LED lighting. And all of this has come about with all of the same barriers, all of the same hurdles. And there's a really big element of social change that's needed as well, about the expectations. Does it have to save money to be worth doing, or does it just become, why wouldn't I install a heat pump compared to why would I? And I think we need to figure out how we can get to that point.
so it's the call to action that's important here in terms of getting people to understand the importance of doing it. Going back to the boiler upgrade scheme, are there any improvements? Griff, you want to come in? Sorry.
Yeah, I think we also need to look at some of the fantastic schemes we've had in the past across other technology sectors as well. And I've been around this now for around about 20 years. And there is a very distinct lack of corporate memory within any department about any other scheme that's ever been run ever. And we've had some great initiatives. We've had some not so great as well. But, even amongst the panel here, we could all look at some of those and come up with a way in which, and a mechanism in which things could work really well. And dare I say, things like the boiler scrappage scheme, which was outstripped its targets several fold, and learning what was good from that, what was bad from that, and how we can integrate that into other schemes going forwards.
These schemes are great until they're not great anymore because someone new comes in, wants to change it or whatever. Who wants to pick up on that?
I think right now, just look around us. Yeah. And there's entities who are investing hundreds of millions, nay, billions within decarbonisation sector. They're not doing that based on the 4-year policy of any government that may or may not come to fruition.
Yeah.
They're basing that kind of investment on seeing that the future of heat is decarbonisation, be that partial, be it fully, be it a blend of hybrid solution and not hybrid, and looking as to how they can build commercial models in the same way that people have done for vehicle finances and kitchens and bathrooms and anything else within the home, buying carpets, etc., so that people can have what they desire in their home, i.e. a warm home.
Is it the installers who advise you?
Yeah, different installers and builders for this area.
Griff.
Come to Heatly afterwards, and I'll guarantee you'll make it all work without any issues. There are negatives and there's positives to every journey, right? Who would have thought you needed to drill a hole in your wall when the oil boiler was fitted, and you needed this oil tank and it had to be this far from the boundary? That's actually my background is oil heating. Ooh, don't tell everybody in the crowd. So come and have a chat afterwards. We'll know somebody in your area, and it is completely impartial, and we'll be able to give you a really straight picture of what you can do through heatly.com.
Thank you.
One of the biggest barriers I see, however, is, again, the installers and the empowering of installers to suggest it as an option, because it's all a little bit alien to them.
If you think it's alien to them, imagine what the consumer...
Oh, to the consumer, but it's, if almost anybody in a room has a problem with their heating system, they will call Bob or Julie, the plumber they've had for the last 15 years, and say, Bob or Julie, what do you think I should do?
They trust.
And we need to empower that conversation, just like we did with solar thermal back in the day, just like we did with condensing boilers, which were a big part of my life as an installer.
So let me ask you, sorry to interrupt you, but I've sat here for the last 9 years on various panels, so we need to educate them. Who's going to do that? Who's going to do it?
I think we have to move to that social change, which I'm not sure I've got the answer as to how that happens, but it comes back to that why wouldn't you instead of why would you?
Yeah.
Nobody goes down the pub and says, I've had an amazing heat pump installed. You only hear the bad stories. You only hear the bad stories.
Let me ask you, as we mentioned the government and so on, what particularly would you like to see the new government, whoever it is, announce? Griff, you're straight in on the microphone.
Well, I don't know, let me just throw it out there. How about a 10 or 12-year plan that nobody can revoke? Because let's be honest, we'd all get behind that. It's one of the biggest problems we've had in the renewable sector forever, is that a government comes in, a policy comes in, it's short-lived, it's medium-lived, it's not, it is. Who wants to stand there in an office of a huge corporation of which we will need these people to be involved for a long-term sustainable price-dropping heat pump installation industry when in 6 months' time that policy could be revoked or changed? It doesn't inspire confidence in any market to do with anything. So just something that's fixed, that everybody can agree on and pin their hopes on for the future and their investment plans.
Brilliant. Listen, thank you so much, Charlotte, Dan, Griff, Jeff and Victoria. Really great to have you here. Are you going to be able to stick around if anybody wants, they were too embarrassed to ask live, or maybe ask who you're betting on or whatever, I don't know. But would you please thank our panel for their input today? Thank you very much.